Hello, my name is Kate and I'm gonna tell you about Kitiara's fate during the War of the Lands in D&D. This is the second video on Kitiara Uth Matar, which takes from where it was ended, right before the start of War of the Lands. And if you haven't watched the first video, I suggest to start from it. And let's begin. So Kitiara defeated Palanthas and returned back to Lord Araikas in 348. The same year, the War of the Lands broke out and Dragon Armies invaded Nordmer and Baliflor. Sylvanesti region traded their freedom for the frail peace to avoid bloodshed. The same year, Darkwind felt the return of the Foundation Stone from the Temple of Istar. The Foundation Stone was required for her portal through which she could enter the world. Unfortunately, the stone was encrusted into the chest of Baron Everman, a man who couldn't die because of the stone. Kitiara was tasked by Takhisis to find him. Being promoted to a commander, Kitiara was given Zephyr, a blue dragon, and joined Blue Dragon Army wing under the command of Cartilan of Kur, a fierce woman riding a blue dragon Calendros. While assaulting the Shalsea, Cartilan was slain. Kitiara's dragon was also shot in battle by elemental magic. Calendros saved Kitiara, and both finished the assault, bringing victory to Blue Dragon Army that day. From that moment, two were bonded together, and Kitiara would call her dragon Sky instead. With the assumption of the new title, she would be known as Blue Lady. In 349 AC, the Red and Blue Dragonwings broke the pact with Sylvanesti and attacked the region. The invasion lasted for a year. The elves provided heavy resistance but eventually decided to flee in late 350. During the fallback, the elves' elder Lorak tried to use Dragon Orb, a powerful artifact of tremendous magical might that contained souls of the dragons in it, yet he failed, turning the region into the land full of nightmares. After, Kitiara returned to Arakias, and he tasked her to lead the assault to Solamnia. Meanwhile, she was also pursuing the Green Gemstone man, who was nowhere to be seen. But her brothers and other friends found him, but they didn't know who he was. They rescued him from the prison of Pax Tarkas in 351 AC, and killing the red dragon Highlord Verminat in the process. Yet, Birmingham died during the escape, and he was returned back to life by the Gemstone. Not knowing about it, Kitiara led assault and captured many cities, including the castle Crownguard. The castle fell. The new step was an assault on Vingard Keep. However, before it happened, Kitiara was recalled back by Highlord Ariakas, who didn't want to launch a bold attack further, but to wear off his enemies. And I think if it was not for that decision, the war would play out differently. But instead, Lord Araikas asked Kitiara to ensure that Derek Crownguard, the owner of the captured castle, would pursue the mission to find the Dragon Orb in Icereach. Kitiara spread the rumors about the orb and indeed provoked Derek to initiate the search. To ensure his success, Kitiara traveled before Derek to the cave with the orb and defeated the Guardian there, the apparition, leaving the Dragon Orb without any defense. Yet, the orb has a defense system itself. The souls of the dragon maddened Derek when he reached and touched the orb, which would lead to certain consequences in the nearest future. During her mission, Kitiara learned of Tannis' whereabouts and heard rumors that he had another lover, Laurana. Overwhelmed by jealousy, she decided to kill her while the companions were in Tarsis. Kitiara ambushed the party and confronted Laurana for the first time in one-to-one battle, but failed the assassination and had to retreat. Unexpected to her, Kitiara was recalled back to the city of Neraka. Being accused of helping the murderers of Dragon Highlord Verminard, Kitiara was thrown to jail and sentenced to death. Yet, being favored by the Darkwind herself, Kitiara saw a vision in her dreams to travel to Dargard Keep to recruit Lord Soth to Dragon Armies in return for her escape. Kitiara agreed to do it. Lord Soth rejected Takhisis' call many times, promising to serve only one commander who managed to spend one night in his castle. Well, Kitiara was the one to do it. In 352 AC, she made an alliance with Lord Soth, and he allowed her to stay in Dargard Keep, making it her base of operations. Fulfilling the promise of the Darkwing, Kitiara reinstated herself as a dragon Highlord of the Blue Wing, and was back on the task to capture Green Gemstone Man, who was finally spotted in Flotsam. He was traveling as a helmsman on the ship of Perehon, the same ship her half-brothers and Tanis were looking to board. Kitiara captured Tanis and tried to convince him to join the Dragon Armies. They spent 4 days together until Kitiara left to lead the attack on High Clerist Tower, and Tanis escaped to join the companions. In late 352 AC, Blue Dragon Armies launched an attack on the tower. The battle was fierce and many died from both sides. Derek Crownguard got completely mad due to his connection to the Dragon Orb and launched a bold attack with his knights without the support of others. As a result, all of his army was killed and he was gravely wounded. During the final moments of the assault, Kitiara joined the battle with her dragon Sky and 2 other dragon riders. She confronted her old friend Sturm on the defender's side and killed him in battle, piercing him through. In the darkest moment of battle, Laurana activated the Dragon Orb, luring 2 other dragons from Kitiara's army into the deadly trap. The orb affected the army of Draconians too, forcing them to run away. With no support, Kitiara had to retreat to Darga's Keep to regroup her forces. The Whitestone army led by Laurana pressed a counterattack, winning back several points of interest and strategic castles, as well as capturing one of the valued officers of Blue Dragon Army. Kitiara wanted her officer back, and she tricked Laurana into believing that Tanis was gravely ill and wished to see Laurana for the last time. Tanis was not even there, by the way, and the price for this visit would be an exchange for the dragon officer. To Kitiara's surprise, Laurana agreed to the conditions. She traveled to Dargard Keep and was ambushed by Kitiara and Lord Soth, who managed to capture the Elf Maiden. After the capture, Kitiara was informed that Tanis escaped Flotsam, but that was the plan all along. She spied on him and he led her to her half-brothers and Baron Everman, who needed to die. With only little hesitation, Kitiara launched an attack on Baron, but was driven off by Raistlin, who happened to be on the same ship. The ship got caught in a terrible storm and sunk in the Blood Sea of Ishtar. It was 353 AC when Kitiara returned to Neraka, where the High Council of Dragon Armies was planned with the Dark Queen present herself. Kitiara gifted Laurana to Takhisis, who would torture and kill her, giving her soul to Lord Soth. Learning of Laurana's capture, Tanis and the companions attempted to save her but were captured as well. Kitiara was happy to see Tanis and tried to give the chance to her ex-lover to stand beside her one more time. When Laurana's fate was almost sealed, the Neraka's temple started to collapse, as Berem, the Green Gemstone Man, was killed, sealing the portal to the abyss. Tanis rejected Kitiara's offer to join her and instead killed Ariaka's High Commander, causing chaos and power mass between other High Commanders. Companions managed to escape, while Kitiara lost her love forever. Yet she received something even greater, a crown of power, and became the High Commander of the Dragon Armies. But suffering a huge blow at Neraka, Kitiara had to move her armies to Sanction. Since then, the frail peace was established between the Knights of Solamnia, Palanthas, and the Dragon Armies. Everyone watched each other, everyone was exhausted. 2 years had passed until 355 AC. Kitiara received an invitation from her brother Raistlin to join him in the Tower of High Sorcery in Palanthas. Kitiara accepted the invitation. From the visit, Kitiara learns of Raistlin's plan to enter the Plains of Abyss, lure out Takhisis to Krynn, defeat her there, and replace her. For that, Raistlin would need to open a portal, which only a revered daughter of Paladine could do, Lady Chrysania. Kitiara had not believed in Raistlin's plan, considering releasing Takhisis to Krynn madness and suicidal, and decided to stop him no matter what. In 356 AC, Kitiara ordered Lord Soth to find and kill Lady Chrysania, who was instrumental to the Raistlin plan. He attempted to murder her, yet her soul was protected by Paladin, and the spell didn't work as planned, only gravely wounding her. But not even Raistlin could fully cure Lady Chrysania from the damage done. Only King Priest from the time pre-Cataclysm had this power. Raistlin and Chrysania had to travel to the past for that. Meanwhile, in present time of Krynn, Kitiara secretly met with Dalamar, Raistlin's apprentice, and her situational lover, to seek support in stopping her brother's plan. Well, Kitiara wouldn't be Kitiara if she wouldn't secretly decide to choose the winning side of the battle when it comes to that. Raistlin's ascension to godhood could prove her a far better position, glory, and power than all of her previous doings combined. Little Kitiara knew that Lord Soth came to take her soul for himself. He couldn't love or have emotions, yet he highly appreciated and respected Kitiara for her character and skills. In some sense, he was jealous of Dalamar having all of Kitiara's attention.
When the Darkwing called upon me to aid her in the war, I told her I would serve the first dragon Highlord who had courage enough to spend the night in Dargard Keep. There was only one, you, my beauty, you, Kitiara. I admired you for that. I admired you for your courage, your skill, your ruthless determination. In you I see myself. I see what I might have become.
Lord Soth proactively supported Kitiara's attack on the city of Palanthas with the rest of Dragon Armies. To make sure she would fall there, he told Dalamar of Kitiara's treacherous nature, that she decided to side with her brother once he is victorious after the encounter with Queen of Darkness. Dalamar fortified Palanthas. In 357 AC, Kitiara launched an attack from Sanction to Palanthas, which would be known as Blue Ladies' War. Instead of marching on feet through the whole Solamnia, she used a flying fortress to bypass High Clerist Tower on her way and rushed towards the city of Palanthas to the Tower of High Sorcery. Her army attacked the city, leaving nothing in its wake, destroying the major part of it. Using the armies as distraction, Kitiara sneaked to the tower and tricked Dalamar to open the door for her. She appeared at the door, exhausted, wounded, battered, asking Dalamar for help, but it was a play all along, and she stabbed him with a hidden dagger. Yet, she didn't kill him, thanks to the annoying shield spell. We all been to this situation, right? Soth made artificial scratches and wounds to Kitiara, so she would trick Dalamar into believing that she was gravely wounded. Yet, he also poisoned the blade. With poison draining her strength, Kitiara attacked Dalamar, yet he managed to defeat her, putting her down with a lightning bolt spell. She dropped on the floor the same way she saw herself long time ago in the vision. Her death came true. Lord Soth took the body from the tower to Dargard Keep, where he put it nearby his throne. Is she a strong character? From the lore perspective, she's a single human who dedicated her life to the sword fight, intrigues and career. She rose in ranks to the commander of the Dragon Armies, had legions under her command, and even Takhisis favored her from time to time. From the technical perspective, in Dragonlance adventures she is mentioned as fighter of level 15 with 68 hit points and Taiko 6, and I would definitely mention here an ancient blue dragon that she rode. So coupling all of this, she is a very formidable foe. And now, a bit of DM tips on how to play her. If you're willing to introduce her in your campaign, maybe as a Dragon Armies boss or a treacherous NPC, remember that. Always think about what would be the value if she helps a party, what would be the value for her personally. She would undoubtedly treat the party if it's to her interest. In combat, I suggest to add 6 Draconians as her bodyguards and also a blue dragon to make encounter a little bit more interesting. And that's the whole story of Kitiara Uth Matar, daughter of disgraced Solamnia knight, who grew into powerful, respectful yet cruel and egoistic character, ruler of Dragon Armies, who hasn't stopped climbing the ladder even knowing that eventually it would result in her death. That takes some dedication. And anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like the lore, please press like and subscribe button, and tell me in the comments below who else you would like to hear about. And see you next time.